Heyo, it's me, Pepper Savage, and today we're going to be upgrading our notebooks for back to school time. Now this first one I have is a planner. I actually thought it was a sketchbook because it says write and sketch on the front of it. And for this particular notebook, we're going to be using some washi tape. Because I already like the color scheme that was on this planner, I kind of picked out washi tape that matched it because it is clear. I'm going in an alternating striped pattern to kind of match with the stripes I left at the bottom. You can put your washi tape on in any way that you want. I just wanted to do stripes. And I chose like a floral pattern. So make sure when you're doing this you leave some overhang so that way you can go ahead and wrap the tape around when you're done and have a clean edge. I wanted to pick something simple for the spiral bounds, just in case you got a spiral bound notebook you're trying to upgrade. But this technique can be applied to most notebooks because it is so simple and easy. So now I'm just gonna trim up the edges to make them a little bit nicer looking for the fold over. And get rid of that corner, of course. And fold it all over. Now for this next step, you can either use clear tape or Mod Podge if you have it. I chose clear tape because a lot of people have clear tape on hand. But we're basically just sealing it off so that the washi tape won't come up as easy over time and it won't get dirty as quick. You're going to leave some excess over the edges like you did with the washi tape and fold that over. And it is all done. So for this next one, it is a clearance notebook I got and it's really not my style. So I'm going to be upgrading this one. It is a grid pattern. One of my favorite types of paper to work on. I'm going to be using some vinyl here. I got this vinyl from the dollar store or the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to measure out about 1 inch from the edges. And make sure you don't forget measurements for the spine. If you need more than 1 inch, then by all means cut more than 1 inch. So I just used my rotary cutter to chop off a chunk, and now I'm just making sure it's still gonna fit. So I peel up half of it and I stick it to the spine first, so that way it's mostly even on both sides, like I have enough hangover for both sides. And you're gonna mess up a couple times, it's fine. If it's dollar store product, it'll probably come right back up, easy peasy. And I just am using a scraper tool, a plastic scraper tool. You can use anything that has a flat surface that's smooth. You can use like a credit card or a gift card, and maybe even a plastic ruler. And then I flip it over and I stick down the back in a similar manner. But don't worry, if you have one of those elastics, I'll show you how to get around that as well. And when you're doing this, make sure you crease in to the spine if it's not a spiral notebook and it's a hardbound notebook, because you don't want there to be any air bubbles. So for the elastic, what I do is I just feel around for it underneath the vinyl and I cut it from where I can feel it under the vinyl to the edge of it, and then I just wrap it around and try to make it look seamless by putting it as close together as possible. And now what you're going to do is you're going to cut some strips out from the corner pieces on a diagonal to make a clean looking edge, and then you're going to cut away the excess. And fold it over, similar to how we did the washi tape. Vinyl and washi tape are like similar in a sense because they're both sticky. And just make some slits for the spine. You're going to be tucking that in later, but right now I made about 3 cuts around the spine just to get it to lay down how I want it to around the cover. So what you're gonna do for around the spine is you're gonna trim those pieces down because all that vinyl will not fit in between the headband and the spine itself. You're just gonna tuck it in. You can use like a flat tool, like a craft knife if you have one, to kind of tuck it in there. Do the same for both sides. And now it is time to get end sheets cut. Mine happened to be 9 by 7 inches. I discovered it was too big, so I trimmed down 7 inches a little bit. And because I decided I wanted to put embellishments on it, I grabbed a roll of duct tape that I had. You can just use a different color vinyl if you want, if you don't have any duct tape. I decided to go with gold because I have a theme in mind here. I'm just tucking it around the corners. You can stop there, or you could be extra like me and want more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 4 pieces. 2 pieces being the width of the book and 2 pieces being the height of the book. And for the shorter pieces, I cut them both in half to go on the front and back. And for the longer pieces, I only cut 1 in half to go on the edges of the book. Now you're just going to stick it on the edge, make it as straight as you can. You can eyeball it if you want, that's all I do. And go ahead and put it on the edges and wrap it around into the inside of the book. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but that's what the end sheets are for, to cover all that mess. Then you do the same on the back, and if you have that elastic, you can avoid it by all means like I did. And for that piece we didn't cut in half, we're going to put it on the spine. I find that centering it around the spine first before wrapping it around is the easiest way. If you have any extra, go ahead and trim that off. And then just fold it down, and it should look pretty even like that. Unfortunately, you can still kind of see through my vinyl because it is a dollar store stuff, like I've mentioned 10,000 times. But we will fix that in a moment. What you're going to do now is you're going to go ahead and glue in your end sheets with whatever glue you have. I happen to have clear glue with me, so I glued it in with clear glue. I do recommend Mod Podge though if you have it. So here comes the theme. I'm making a Zelda themed book. This is a decal I think I got from a like a Zelda, like not a subscription box, but like just a Zelda themed box. And I have a bunch of other Zelda stickers that I get from my local retro game stores. And I decided upon a young Link and a stash of rubies to go on the front. And on the back, I wanted to keep it simple and just have a heart container. now here I am doing the nice peelies to get the transfer tape off of the decal. And there we have it. Now for this last book, we are going to be painting on it, so I recommend putting gesso on, and if you don't have any gesso and your cover is smooth, I recommend scuffing it up with some sandpaper or something, just so the paint has a surface to stick onto. If not, it will probably more than likely peel up over time. Now I know what you're thinking. But Harper, isn't that the same color blue already was? And that would be correct. I didn't realize it at the time, but it's fine. Just trust the process. So if it isn't obvious, I am going for a nighttime look. I sketched a moon and then I realized the sketching was pointless because I was going to paint right over it. But basically, I grabbed 4 shades of blue, one darker than the last, and I'm gonna be blending them all together eventually. But first we gotta lay down the first layer, our base layer, and get all the colors kind of sorted out where they're gonna go. And then I tried to blend them all together, but I decided that that was way too much work and I couldn't get them to blend as nicely as I wanted them to. Even after a bazillion layers, I still could not get it blended how I wanted it to, so I decided to go ahead and just go with a more abstract-y looking type of blend. And I actually think it looks really cool like that. It kind of looks like a blue flame. And now I'm just taking some watered down white paint and flicking it on with a old toothbrush. I grabbed some silver paint to paint in my moon so it'll have a little bit of a shine when you turn it. You can obviously paint your notebook however you want. I'm just showing you guys what I did and the process of this one. And I decided to keep it relatively simple. Now I'm going in and making some trees in a kind of Bob Ross style, but not nearly as good. I added the darkest and the second darkest color to the bottom there to kind of balance out the book, and then I regret putting silver humongous stars on it, but still it was done. And then we just repeat the process for the back. And boom, it's all done. Now those were my 3 ways of how you can upgrade your notebooks for back to school time. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTubey things of comment, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!